Okay, and welcome everyone. Let's take a time to sit together, please. You can rest your hands in your lap, and you're welcome to close your eyes if you like. Let yourself arrive in the fullness of your intention and with the fullness of our welcome to each of you as a community. We're glad that you're here. So if you haven't yet, you can lengthen up through your spine and root down through your hips. In between those two directions, let your breath begin to deepen. And then notice how smooth your breathing is today. You're getting a kind of biofeedback from your own experience of the breath, like how smooth, how deep, what is its general pace and tone. And with the biofeedback that you're receiving, then let your awareness ask, okay, how shall I proceed in my practice today? What would be considered wise effort or wise action today? And when you have a sense of the response from your heart wisdom or your body wisdom, then bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra and make a humble commitment to follow that wisdom, whatever it offered to you. And we'll chant the Gayatri mantra together. So let's begin. Om Bharadvajasana Tat Savitar Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahhi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bharadvajasana Tat Savitar Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahhi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bharadvajasana Tat Savitar Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. You may bow your head to your heart and release your hands, raise your head, and keeping your eyes closed, interlace your fingers and point the heels of your hands down in front of you with straight arms. Remind yourself that the posture that we use for Jalandhar Bandha lifts the crown of the skull, the base of the skull, and gently tips your chin slightly in towards your throat. Now, open your eyes to look at your knuckles, and as you inhale, raise your hands and arms and your eyes together at the pace of your inhale. You're kind of gazing up at the knuckles at the highest point here. And then exhale, push your arms out to the sides of the room, close your eyes, and return down to the position we began with your hands interlaced. And then again, inhale to raise the arms slowly. You're going to open the eyes there. Focus your eyes. So you arrive at the top of the breath, all synchronized. Exhale, push out, close your eyes, and return your physical posture to Jalandhar Bandha. As the exhale completes, interlace your fingers. Once more. Now adding to that, inhale, Ujjayi, going up. Exhale, hands behind your head. Go ahead and close your eyes. So the pinky fingers are at the base of the skull. Your gaze is inward. Then inhale, elbows forward and up. Open your eyes. Look up at the destination that suits your physical flexibility. And then exhale, Jalandhar Bandha. Close your eyes, widen your elbows, lift the base of your skull. Now inhale, lift your gaze and rotate your left elbow forward, right elbow up, twist. Exhale to center, Jalandhar Bandha, so your gaze is down and in. Inhale, open your eyes, rotate. Exhale to center, close the eyes, Jalandhar Bandha. Let's go once more to the right. Exhale to center, closing the eyes, Jalandhara. Inhale to your left, bring the right elbow forward, open your eyes. Exhale to center. Inhale to go up, raise your gaze slowly with the breath to reach the high point of your vision at the top of the inhale. And exhale, arms wide, close the eyes, return to Jalandhara Bandha. And then deeply relax. And bring the palms together like this. And as you're sitting, most of you are sitting cross-legged. Some of you are sitting kneeling. That's okay. Take both hands to the outside of your right knee, like that. And do your best to actually move the hands over to the outer right knee. Okay, so this, keeping the palms together, twist your upper body to your right, gaze over your right shoulder. And then keeping your right hand on your left to secure it, side bend to your left, so towards your left knee. Breathe into the right side of the waist, like right lower belly, right lower back. Now exhale, using the right low belly, rise up to your twist to the right. And then raise the two palms together, inhale to go up. Exhale, come down to your left. Put the back of your right hand on the outside of your left knee. And then side bend to your right. Take a deep breath into the left lower back and side waist. Exhale, left low belly as you rise up, twisting to your left. Inhale, raise your arms and your gaze. Exhale, lower down to your right. Side bend towards your left thigh. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, use your right low belly to come up to your twist. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, rotate to your left. Secure your right hand to the outside of your thigh and inhale, side bend right. Breathe into your left lower back. Exhale, up to your twist. Inhale, rise up, last one. And then exhale, come down so your gaze is going to arrive at your fingertips. And then close your eyes. Relax your palms to your lap. And let your mind go deeper than the physical body movements, deeper than synchronizing the breath and the body. Let the mind go deeper than paying attention. Invite your mind to go deeper than itself, to surrender to wisdom. And even deeper than wisdom is love. And we're going to rise up to standing to incorporate some of what we were just doing. I'd like to shift my camera, so I'll meet you in a standing position. There we go. If you heard a crashing sound a few moments ago, that was the kittens playing in the other room. I don't know what they toppled over, but now they're very quiet out there. Please take a wide stance, like jazz dance warm-up stance. Turn your toes and your knees out and come down with your hands on your knees. Great. Press out with your inner thighs out towards your knees, and let's bring the gaze down so it's somewhere on the floor in front of you so that the angle of your head makes sense for your spine. And breathe in through your nose, Ujjayi. And exhale, turn your left hand in, twist to your right. Inhale to center, breathe in through your nose. Turn the fingers out on both hands. Exhale, twist to your left, turn your right hand in. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale to center. Imagine you're kind of oxygenating and hydrating at the same time. Exhale, twist to your left. Now you're squeezing that out. So inhale to center, oxygenating, hydrating. Exhale to your right, squeezing out. So inhale, revitalizing. And exhale, releasing. Please inhale to center. And then tone the low belly and come upright. Interlace your fingers. Now, one thing here is that I don't want you to stand with a big arch in your lower back, but I do want you to use the strength of your legs. So take the tailbone down. That means the inner thighs have to be flexible enough for that. You could make your stride shorter if you need to. Inhale to go up. And then exhale, side bend. Inhale to go up. And exhale, side bend. Again, inhale to go up. Check with the tailbone. Exhale, side bend. So you're not really arching the lower back to make this happen. You're inhaling and broadening the back of the body. And exhale, side bend. Inhale, rise up. Okay, exhale, push out. Release your arms, straighten your legs. I would stay longer, but I think that some of you might not want to. And let's go over and down. So right there, you guys can stay in Prasarita. Right there, we were generating heat and movement. So for those of you sort of following, what is the Ayurvedic method in yoga? We're using some heat right now because it's still very cold and damp outside. So we initiate some fire in the body, get some movement going. And now you have an inward downward pose. So this is a time where that heat is still doing its job inside, but I don't want your mind to get overheated. So use the Ujjayi breath to bring the inhale down into your pelvis, hips, and legs. And that's to help the Vata mind not be taken away by the Pitta actions we were just doing. So you breathe down into your pelvis, hips, and legs. And let yourself exhale completely, using the tone of the low belly for that exhale. Now walk your hands forward so your hands will come into downward dog pose. Step your feet backwards. If you have a crisscross mat, that's how you get there. If you have a regular mat, then turn sideways and please come into downward dog pose. So we could say that downward facing dog pose is tridoshic. It's benefiting all three doshas. So you have Vata dosha, where we tend to get ungrounded, but right now you have 4 points of contact with the ground. Your head is also lower than your heart. So the windy nature of the mind is more grounded. We have the Pitta dosha, which tends to be outwardly oriented to do its productivity and consumption, the part of its action that is about the world. So Pitta goes inward in downward dog pose. And we have the Kapha dosha, which is the most grounded of the doshas, but can tend to become sedentary. So right now your thoracic spine is in a little bit of a back bend, and you have to use your muscles to energize your body. So you're asking Kapha not to be too sedentary, Pitta not to be too outward, and Vata not to be too upward, lost in the ethers. So this is a tridoshic pose, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, come forward to plank pose and try to bring all three doshas with you in balance. So gaze down between your thumbs. That's to keep your Pitta mind from becoming too active. Lengthen through the crown of your skull. Lift the base of your skull. Reach back into your hips and legs, heels and toes. A little bit of heat getting generated. Now inhale, rise back to downward facing dog pose. And then walk your hands and feet towards each other until you're in the pose called Uttanasana. And Uttanasana is more downward and inward, where plank pose had a little bit more heat in the body. With your next inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Root down into your heels and toes. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Please step forward for Surya Namaskar. Surya Namaskar balances all three doshas, but people tend to work or make effort according to their dosha imbalance. I'm going to ask you to come back to the beginning of our meditation time and to remind yourself there was a wisdom that said, okay, how should I make my effort today? If your vata mind has been ungrounded, you want to move more slowly and focus on the lower hemisphere of the body during the sun salutation. If your pitta mind has been all about getting things done and moving forward in your life, I want you to imagine that your gaze is back at the base of the skull and that you're really sort of observing the practice, not you doing the practice. And if your kapha nature has been kind of dull or a little bit lethargic, focus on the way we lift the upper body in the poses where we do that. If everything is a mess, just be glad that you're here. Okay, Ujjayi, inhale. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise up. Vatas and pittas gazing down. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, slide your heart forward. Vata and Pitta gazing down. Kapha can gaze forward. Exhale, Uttanasana. All doshas are gazing back at the back edge of the mat. Inhale, rise up. Upward hands pose. Vata and Pitta gaze down. Kapha can gaze up. Exhale to the heart. Everyone can gaze at the tips of the fingers. Now adding to that, inhale. So Vata and Pitta continue to look down right now. Kapha can look up. Then exhale, chair pose. Everyone can gaze down. Let's stay in chair pose for a few breath cycles. If Kapha is the dosha that goes out of balance for you, please keep your arms lifted. If Pitta goes out of balance, please bring your hands to your heart. If it's your Vata mind that goes insane, reach your arms forward and down towards the floor. And then for everyone, inhale, rise up. Vata and Pitta are gazing down. And then exhale, Uttanasana. Everyone can squeeze the low belly, gaze towards the back edge of your mat. Inhale, glide forward without lifting your gaze unless it's your Kapha dosha that goes out of balance. Take the left toes back, please. And inhale to rise, crescent lunge. Arms up for Kapha dosha and gaze up. Hands to the heart, gaze forward for the Pitta dosha. Arms down and gaze down and close to your pose for the Vata dosha. Notice how you're making the choice and you practice some loyalty to the wisdom within you. One more inhale from wherever you are, your transition is going to be to come forward and down. Then inhale, step forward. The heart comes forward, but Vata and Pitta keep the gaze down. Exhale, everyone gazes at the back of the mat. Inhale, slide your heart forward. Okay, exhale, right toes back. Keep your left heel grounded. Inhale, rise into your arm position, the one that's suited to how your dosha tends to manifest in your life, or what's been happening this morning. So Kapha can take the arms and the gaze up, and think of really raising energy and vibrancy. Pitta has the hands at the heart, and though your gaze is on something, your mental focus can be in, as if you're gazing from the base of the skull. And Vata has the arms down and the gaze is down and closer to home. And inhale smoothly, and for everyone, then exhale, bow over your left leg. And please step backwards, downward dog pose, your tridoshic yoga pose. With your next inhale, come forward to plank pose, gaze down between your thumbs. Exhale, bend your elbows, come onto your stomach. Point your toes behind you and take the arms out into a T shape. Center your forehead on the floor. Okay, so for Salambhasana, Vatas and Pittas will keep the legs down and Kappas can lift the legs. For everyone, then inhale, raise your chest, your heart, and your arms. And again, Kappas can lift the legs, but please keep your legs down if your dosha tends to be Pitta or Vata. When you raise the heart here, reach out to the tips of your fingers. If you have a Vata or Pitta inclination, close your eyes. If Kapha tends to be sedentary for you, keep your eyes open. And then exhale, lower down. Place your hands under your shoulders. Inhale up to table pose. And exhale, reach back to child's pose. In child's pose, you can gaze towards the back of your mat, kind of between the two knees and towards your toes. And everyone's gaze is in that direction. So child's pose is a good remedy for Vata and Pitta out of balance. And it's a good time for Kapha to feel like important and cherished. That Kapha is not getting the judgment of our societal preference for productivity. And please walk your hands back towards your knees. Rise up to kneeling. Rest your palms face down in your lap. Now, based on your flexibility and the capacity for your knees to bend this deeply, I know that there's a couple of you who are here today who have had knee replacements, and some of us have had hip replacements. So if closing your knees completely like this is not possible, you probably want to sit on a couple of blocks to your side. But if you have the knees closed and the feet can go back behind you, then you put your weight into your right hip like this. And then we're going to take the two palms together to start, and the outside of your left hand, the backside is going to go to the outside of your right thigh. That's going to be a little bit off balance. It'll be asymmetrical. If you go like this and you place your hand and then sit on it, that is a much more secure place to be. Then you can put The right hand, slide it down and press down against your forearm. So you're kind of massaging the left forearm a bit and aiming to get the left heel of the hand down towards the floor. And then you can place the right hand in the palm of the left hand. Side bend to your left, including tipping your left ear towards your left shoulder. So this side bend is comprised of several things. Let me make a couple recommendations. Press your right outer thigh down against your left hand. Keep the left hand fixed under the outside of your right thigh. Let's keep the right hip heavy. And let the exhale be a time of letting go. So you're squeezing the left side of the torso a bit. Let your left ear be heavy towards your left shoulder. Now slide your right hand up to your right side waist and rotate your right shoulder back like a back bend. Bring your chin in towards your throat and begin to turn your head to your right. And then raise your right arm up alongside your right ear. This is called Bharadvajasana. We would add the word Parshva, which means side. Parshva Bharadvajasana. And like many of the twists, it's named after a sage. So Bharadvajasana, Bharadvaja was a sage. Matsyendra was the lord of the fishes. Matsyendrasana is a twisting pose. Asana is a twisting pose. That's named after a sage too. Now when you exhale, release your pose with your right arm. Bring your right hand back to your left hand. Put it in the palm of the left hand and gaze deeply down to your left. And then roll yourself up to center. Release your left hand and shift to Vajrasana. Place your palms face down. Okay, so that pose is also adjusting the doshas. Let me say a little bit about that. For those of you who are having a release of heat right now, we're releasing excess pitta. Vata has its seat in the colon, though it tends to go out of balance, causing the mind to go up. So we're reestablishing the home for Vata to come down to. You also closed the lymph system in a few places, and then it gets to recirculate, and that's helpful for the Kapha dosha, which is our circulatory principle. Okay, so let's put the blanket to the other side. You can either, you're using 2 blocks if you need to, or sit with your feet pointed back behind you. Take the right hand and you can place it on the blanket and sit on it with your left thigh. And then with the left hand, go ahead and press down. So you're supporting the release of your forearm muscles and anchoring. When you get that anchor established, then take the left hand down into the palm of your right hand and side bend to your right, including let your right ear be heavy towards your right shoulder. And I get that it's possible that you don't feel very limber in this position. So thank you for your willingness. So you're closing the lymph system in the upper right armpit and left inner groin. There's pressure in both of those places. We're squeezing the right hemisphere of the body, especially in the lower belly and the side waist. Let the right ear be heavy. See what flexibility can come, what limberness emerges. And walk your left hand up to your left side waist. Roll the left shoulder back like you're doing cobra pose. Bring your chin in towards your throat and begin to gaze up to your left. Raise your left arm up. Now you're asking for a bit more suppleness from your left lower back and side waist. So the Pitta Dosha is made of earth and water, Pitta, fire and water, and the Vata Dosha is air and ether. Okay, when you exhale, lower your left arm down, gaze down past your right shoulder. And then release your right hand, release your pose, and come up to kneeling into Vajrasana. So your body's doing something very medicinal right now, so you are invited to observe it. Go down beneath the physical actions that are happening. Let the mind go deeper than the breath and temperature and circulation. Invite the mind to go deeper than itself. Awareness returning to the wisdom body. And deeper than that, the expression of love. I'm going to take this long fold blanket, or make one if you don't have one yet, and please take it down your mat, lengthwise. You're going to sit in front of but not on this blanket, and lie back so your spine is supported. Once you lie back, let me pull mine back a little ways. So once you lie back, take the legs out straight and a little bit like maybe the width of your yoga mat, and you're going to want to find out where your arms are going to be here when the arms are out to the side. This is a rustic version of Shavasana, kind of like a starfish, but with a blanket. Take this and curl it under. Okay, and now what we're going to do is a little movement where we go and we drop the arm down, and then we tense one and we drop it down, and then we'll tense the leg and we'll lower it down, and then we'll do the other one. So we're going to be doing this squeezing movement and then this releasing. Okay, so let's start. Bring attention down to your left foot. Squeeze the toes of your left foot and pull the top of your foot back towards your left shin. Reach out through your heel. Squeeze your left calf muscle and your left knee. Try to squeeze your left thigh muscles, and then raise your left leg up about 3 inches from the floor. And breathe in, and then let the left leg drop down. And let it be heavy and limp. Completely heavy and limp. Okay. Left leg one more time. Squeeze the toes of your left foot so you pull them in like you're holding a marble with your toes. Reach out through your left heel. Squeeze your left calf muscle, your kneecap, your left thigh. Squeeze your left butt muscles. And then raise your left leg a couple of inches. And breathe in. And then exhale, let your leg go limp. Hello, you guys could come to class, sure thing. Okay. Now squeeze the toes of your right foot. Hi, honey. Reach out through your right heel. Squeeze your right calf muscle. Right kneecap, right thigh. Squeeze the right butt. And then raise your right leg 2 or 3 inches. Breathing in. And exhale, drop it down. Let it go. And the right leg again. So you squeeze the toes like you're holding a marble in the toes. Reach out through your heel, squeeze your calf muscle, your kneecap, squeeze your right thigh muscles, the right butt, and raise your right leg 2 or 3 inches. So in that raising of your leg, give a good squeeze, inhale, and then release it, drop it down. Okay, left hand, make a fist, good strong squeeze. Squeeze your forearm, squeeze your elbow and your tricep, and raise your left arm up towards the ceiling. Don't rub against the microphone, please. And then start taking your left arm out to the side. Keep the muscles toned and toned and toned. So you're going out, your arm is going to get heavier. And when you get about 2 inches from the floor, make a good strong squeeze, increasing the volume. Inhale. And then exhale and drop the arm down. Go to your right arm, make a good squeeze of your right fist. Right forearm, squeeze the elbows, squeeze the tricep, raise your arm up so you're pointing it at the ceiling. And breathing in, breathing in. Slowly take your right arm out to the side. We'll go out to where you're going to be about 2 inches from the floor. Make a little increase in the volume of your effort right now. Breathing in. And then exhale, drop your right arm down. And now the last thing is we're going to squeeze the face. So you can keep your head supported by the blanket, but make an effort to squeeze your face towards your nose like you're a raisin. We'll squeeze everything in towards the nose. Take a deep breath. Now exhale, open your eyes really big, open the mouth, stick the tongue out. And then squeeze again towards the nose. And open again. And then relax your face, close your eyes. If you like your eye pillow or your sandbag, anything that you want right now, you can bring it in for your Shavasana, except for an iced lemonade. Please don't do that. Otherwise, please be kind and nurturing to yourself. And let the mind observe these last physical actions are fading now, and there's an intelligence in your body, in your vital body. And that intelligence is taking care of the housekeeping, lymph, circulation, parasympathetic versus sympathetic. Invite the mind that's able to observe this to be deeply quiet and free from any judgment or narrative. And then invite your mind to go deeper yet than the mind itself, to what's called the wisdom body. When you return to that wisdom body, release all sense of effort, but also release the sense of time, dates, names or numbers. Releasing a sense of past or future. Surrender all sense of grasping or aversion. Let the mind go deeper yet. Deeper than wisdom is love. Sorry, the cat knocked over the water glass. Allow yourself to rest deeper and deeper. Releasing the concept of your name or the date without holding on to any sensations. Releasing past and future. Releasing all sense of grasping or aversion. Any sense at all of wanting things to be different. Release any sense of tension that remains in the body. Without moving your mind or your muscles, let your attention now rest in the lower abdomen and the second chakra. We call this the seat of the self, capital S, the seat of the self. When you rest your attention there, you also can imagine that you're bringing your Vata mind back home. And ask of your self in the seat of the self, what wisdom wants to come. You might ask the question of your wisdom self, what do I need to know? What do you want me to know? And you can lightly wiggle your fingers and your toes. And bend your knees in preparation for rolling to your side. Bring yourself up to sitting. And take the seat that is yours. Meditation, by the way, is also tridoshic. But we're going to recommend that Vata and Pitta close the eyes. And Vata puts its attention down in the belly, Pitta in the heart, and Kapha can have the gaze open slightly in front. Please bring your hands together at your heart. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. You're so excited. So happy. I think she's been purring in your ear when she rubs against the microphone. Yeah. So. How are you? How are you doing? Oh. I'll come up to see you where she can't grab for the iPad if I'm sitting up there. Excuse me. Okay. Hi, everyone. you were having a serenade. I hope it quieted you down. I felt not distracted, but nourished.